What's up, guys? Here to bring you some more updates around the rescue. So a couple videos back I had some plans of rearranging this 750 gallon. As you can see, the water is crystal clear, so cleaning all my filters of course did the trick. You always got to stay on a maintenance schedule, but I went ahead and added this ship deck decoration hoping that it would stay put, and so far so good. It seems everyone hangs in and around it. We've got the Asian redtail cat hanging out right here in back, so I can go ahead and get some close-ups of him. So I do like that. The clown knives hide back here. The gar go all around. I do have this floating piece of driftwood in the back. It will sink very, very soon. It usually sinks within a couple of weeks. But we took it out of the last tank and it dried out, so we had to re-waterlog the piece of wood. But moving on, we do like this ship decoration in here, so I'm probably going to take the other one out of Tesla's tank, give him a bit more room, and stick it right there in that empty barren spot. And then, like I said, as I get more rocks, I'll finish this center column. I'll do some more driftwood like this and kind of just make this look like a lake bottom of some sort with some artificial ships. So I do think that looks good, and the lungfish are not bullying them around. They all are growing their what do you want to call them, their legs back, but their appendages. See right there, that it was nibbed off to right there, and that all grew back since. This one here, I am seeing fin regrowth on it. I do see a tiny point there, so that will grow back in time. Same thing with his back legs. If you see right there, the big stubby and then the little point growing off, that'll get just as long as these front ones, if not a little bit longer. Same thing with this guy here. You can see that's what they're normally supposed to look like. See if I can get a better look at that. Get this goby out of here. There you go, bud. There you go. So you can see there's supposed to be a little bit of fin and a lot of length to it. So both of these will get back to it. That was from having them sun catfish in there. Them things are so destructive. I probably won't be keeping them again. It was cool to teach some people about it, but they do cause damage. So I am all about bees here. I don't need to keep everything, so I went ahead and rehomed the 3 sun cats that I did have. But now I have, you know, the knowledge, and I can tell people, hey, if you have a sun cat, you might not want to keep them with, you know, delicate fish as they grow out. These gars are all doing great. We got the big tropical here. Everyone seems to be getting along in here. That beautiful veil tail Oscar. So he was one that I was worried about because he is a bit deformed, as you can see on his tail, how it kind of like crooks down. So he's a lot slower than most, so he just kind of glides through the water, and he has to be left alone, but he eats fine, eats good. Everyone's doing great in this tank. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, moving on. So some of you guys watch Reaper's channel, others of you don't, but my buddy had dropped off fly river turtle yesterday or the day before, I can't remember, but he is done with the big fish for now. He might get back into it, but he asked me to look after his little dude right here. He is a great looking fly river turtle. He's probably about 10 inches or so. Literally nothing wrong with him. He looks great. There's a little bit of the wrinkling on the shell, which I'll get that fixed up in no time. As you can tell with that sheen on him, he was kept in a very, you know, earthy tank. Usually that comes from diatomaceous earth. You get that real sheeny coat on their shell. I don't like that look, so I don't have them in there with it. So all of my turtles have a very glossy shell. Let's take a look real quick. Let's look at Hubert here. So you see his shell, there's no like wrinkles up top, but there's a real glossy shine to it. I kind of like that look a lot better when it comes to fly river turtles. Others like the brown look that comes from the diatomaceous earth. Same thing with this guy here, which actually says is a girl. I had to work with her for a long time, but she looks great again. And of course this guy over here. So that means there are 4 fly river turtles at the rescue now. I will be putting him into a different tank relatively soon. But man, do I love these turtles. So cute, so cool. But while I was over here, I wanted to give you guys an update on this 1,800 gallon community tank. This is a tank that is looked past a lot of the times. And there are actually a lot of cool fish in here. So recently, well, maybe in the last couple of months, I added in these cloud archer fish. There are 3 of them. And they are actually doing so great in here. I had a little bit of worry that they wouldn't do too well, but I absolutely love them. They are one of my favorites in this tank, and I would like to get a group of, 10, 15, even 20 going at the top of this tank, because there's really no activity at the top, not a whole lot at the bottom. It's a lot of mid-dwelling fish. So you can see it looks kind of clustered over here, but then this side of the tank is completely empty. So I want to try and disperse this just a little bit more. But let's go ahead and dive into some other fish that are in this tank. So we got these mad barbs right here. There's, I think 6 or 7 in here. We just picked another one up in Chicago when we were there for Aquashella. That's one of these bit bigger guys here, closer to the 17, 18 inch mark. Some of the smaller guys are, 10. That little guy's like 6 inch. But they look great. They are an awesome community fish. They can be in with larger fish. They're fast, they're quick. They bring a lot of color. So I personally love them, but you have to watch. They are great jumpers. So if you don't have lids on your tank, they will jump out. I have a whole school of these pink kissing gouramis. These guys are all like 8, 9 inches long. They get pretty big, but they just kind of chill at the top of the water, kind of like the archer fish. And if you're lucky, you'll catch a couple of them drinking at the top of the water. So right now they are pretty much drinking the surface of the water, trying to get some air, because they are a labyrinth breather. We do have a regular giant gourami in here. Here he goes. He is starting to get to the size where in a little bit I'm going to actually pull him out of here, and it will be a pain in the butt, but that is all right. We have these polar parrots. There's actually 2 of them in there. Not my cup of tea, but I guess they're a cool looking fish. We have regular parrots in here, of course. There's all different sizes. We got a mammon back there. He's hiding. The biggest, chunkiest golden algae eater I have ever seen. Look at the size of that boy. He is probably 7 inches long, but he is big around as a small banana. He is just a chunky boy. Of course, we got all the different silver dollars in here. We got the tiger barb, the blackberry. That's one of the coolest ones in here. We have the red spot shimberky. There's blue spot, green spot, orange spot, yellow spot. We got regular red hooks and all different types of common silver dollars, thin bars. The list goes on. If we don't have one of the species of silver dollars that come in, we go ahead and add it to do the pack. But that is my favorite shimberky right there. Look at that deep red, those strailing streamers. They're just so gorgeous. That is a great looking fish. And there are a couple of them that we actually bred ourselves from our large shimberkies that have since all passed. We had them things for so long, they were the size of dinner plates. People always came in and mistake them for small pacu, and we're like, nope, those are shimberky, or a type of silver dollar. Over here I just seen a couple of the clown loaches out. They are, there goes one. They hide so well, but that severum right there kind of got in the way. We have different kinds of severums, African leaf fish. Oh, there goes one of the clown loaches came out. There's a couple of them back in there, I see. I just see the red tails flashing by. There's that one back there. I just seen another one up top right in there. But they are in here. As you can see, some of this coral is getting covered in some just slough. So what we want to do before Joey gets here in March, I want to go ahead and drain this tank down, and I want to get in this tank with my 500 psi DeWalt pressure washer, so it's, you know, strong enough to knock the dirt off, but not strong enough to take any of the paint or epoxy off and damage anything. But I can give these guys a good rinse and bring the coloration back in the coral. I want to do this to both tanks while I clean the glass. We have these huge bala sharks in here. There goes another clown loach right there. Told you, they're all hiding all over on the back sides of these coral. I want to say there's like 8 of them in here. At nighttime is when they really come out. But at daytime, they love to hide. Love those guys too. What else have we not talked about in here? Oh, there goes the super red Severum. Love those guys too. They're pretty cool. Where are we at? Oh, the bala sharks, I was talking about them. Those are pretty big. We also have the flagtails. The flagtails are beautiful. They're one of my favorite fish. They're great with all sorts, as long as you get one that does not suck slime. So we have 2 of them in here. Where's the other one? Because I know their parents will be watching and they can always point out Rio. Up, there goes 1. There goes 2. So if you guys are watching the video, there goes your boy Rio right there. Still thriving, looking great. You can see that one has a lot more vibrant red, has the cool patterns on the tail. This one's a little bit more plain on it. The pattern on the tail is more straight. That is the common flagtail. This one has a high fin on them. Absolutely love these guys. They can get up to like 16, 18 inch, and they are great at eating algae. Let me tell you, they just snack on it all day long. So there is a lot of work to be coming up. I'm going to be cleaning a lot of tanks, getting them all prepped for when the man, the myth, the legend, the king of DIY is here in March. As you can see, I'm going to clean these tanks too. Get them all, you know, back to their former glory. I'm actually going to add a few more filters onto each one. And what I actually want to do is, but before we had both of them coming out the outlet, plumbed in over here, the outlet TNN going back to do the pond. If I go ahead and leave that one, I can take this one, cut it, add a new line over to the pond, and I can actually up the flow to each tank, because I actually have them throttled down just so I can handle the outlet from both tanks. So if I actually just run another 15 feet of pipe, I can actually get more water flow through each tank, which would then make these tanks stay a little bit clearer. They do a good job now, but right after a feeding is the most crucial part. Especially with this cichlid tank. My dad throws a lot of pellets in here. So right after a feeding, it gets really cloudy. So it would be nice to have more water flow coming through here, washing that back to the filtration. So lots of things coming. Beautiful cichlids in this tank. They are all thriving and doing great. So hope you guys enjoyed the little update today, and I will catch you in the next video. As always, stay fishy, my friends.